My name's Kenny Folds. I'm born and bred here in Dalmarnock. I'm a third-year medical student, just finishing here in May. The biggest thing why I'm involved in the community, I have set my career up. My path in life is fine. There is no other reason for me to get involved other than I want people to take advantage of the opportunities that I've took advantage of. I mean, it varies from organisation to organisation, but I have seen young people who have worked for £3.20 an hour, and some of whom we'll be speaking to later on, and up to the maximum I've ever heard has been the minimum wage. There is no one who's ever exceeded the minimum wage that I know of employment in Dalmarnock, and it's only fair that we challenge that.
Right, my name's James Stewart, I'm 17 and I stay in the Dalmarnock area.
My name's Andrew Robertson, I'm 20, I also stay in Dalmarnock.
Well, I usually get 140 when I'm in my job, but I'm only sick now.
How many hours do you work?
40.
40? You put all your work in, but at the end of the week, that's all you gave. How do you feel?
Shite, but there's nothing else I can do about it, because can't get a better job out there.
What kind of jobs would you be interested in with the Commonwealth Games?
Apprenticeships, like plumbing, painting, plastering.
Painting on decorator, do I be?
You saw a bit of YouTube stuff, didn't you? Saw the list of citizens.
Oh, sure.
I'm Paul Mulligan, 17 for Dalmarnock.
What kind of job are you looking for?
I want to join the army,
How come?
because there's no good jobs about. I mean, well done to the boys for getting up every morning, working 40 hours a week for a crap wage, but I wouldn't do it.
So, what would you like to see happen in 2014?
More jobs with better wage for people for Dalmarnock. A living wage in Dalmarnock would mean a better standard of living for the people in Dalmarnock. More money to take care of their families and get a brief.
I think low wages is an issue everywhere, really. Because if you're on a low wage and if you don't qualify for any kind of tax credits, you've still got to pay your bills, you've still got to pay the full rent, which is my situation. I don't qualify for anything like that, so we've still got to pay our bills, which we're borderline, so because we're borderline we don't qualify. I think there's a lot of people here that want to work, but when they go and find out the price of rent and the price what they're going to need to pay for council tax and what they're going to need to pay out every week off their wage, it puts them off going out to work. So they need money that, it's going to be worth their while. It's giving them a life, but right now I don't think they've got a life. I think they're only going from one day to another. You've got to have a wee bit of hope and a wee bit something to look forward to. And if you're not working and you're not earning a decent wage, you've nothing to look forward to. There's nothing. Well, the Commonwealth Games are only lasting for 14 days. My concern is what's happening after the 14 days. I would like to see more employment in the area. Something that's going to last, not something that's going to last for 14 days.
Yeah.
I'm George Redmond. I'm the local elected member for Dalmarnock, and I'm also the manager of the local credit union.
As a local employer, what do you see as the way forward to persuade other businesses to sign up to a living wage?
I think first and foremost it's about how do we actually keep our staff motivated, how do we retain staff, how do we actually keep them focused and positive in the job that they're doing, and I think it's about always you know, having respect for your staff. It's always how you feel confident about your staff, how you reinvest in your staff. And certainly we need to talk to other employers. We need to persuade them of the benefits that will give, not only to their staff, but also to them as a business. And I think the way forward for that is actually to engage with employers at the earliest opportunity. Well, if you have low wages, it affects the choices that families can make. You know, and some of that's about the type of food that people can eat. You know, they'll be less healthy because they cannot, you know, choose the right food, whether it's fruit.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Oh, I'm not very good in that kind of thing.
I don't think there's a bigger issue that's ever affected people here. Low pay is such a huge issue, and it affects so many things in people's lives. People consider themselves deprived. They can't afford a back and front door house unless it's provided by local housing and for rent. I've met and worked alongside people who work for minimum wages far below that of the legal standard. And it has subsequent consequences of people who can't afford to pay their rent. People are working 3 and 4 jobs, ridiculous amounts of overtime. The biggest thing is changing mental attitudes. And the problem that I have found working in this community and being born and raised here is that people have low aspirations, and when they work for that minimum wage they can't see above it, and that is the biggest problem. And working for a minimum wage doesn't sustain family life. We are standing here in the 2014 Commonwealth Games Athletes Village. I think it's only fair that we give a balanced view of Dalmarnock. We have looked at some of the deprivation in the houses that have existed here, and it's only fair that you come down here and see the beauty and the opportunity that lies ahead for the future. We have been decanted, we've been depleted, we've been pulled down, communities trashed, and our confidence has been knocked slightly, but we're back. And the biggest thing that we want to see is we want to determine our own legacy. And our legacy that we want is we want our houses here when the village has been built. We want those houses not to be sold to a private contractor who's going to charge us, the local residents, 4 or 5 times the price of what it is to buy them. We want apprenticeships to be sustainable. There is no point in employing young people, build the village, and then after the village is built, where does that leave them? No, that's unacceptable. We want this living wage to say, we think you're worth this, and we think, you know, this is the minimum that you're worth, and that you should be earning that at least, but you're worth a lot more. And the biggest thing for me in particular is that we have a new community facility here in Dalmarnock. We need somewhere to harvest the fruits of our young people, and we need something to build on the skills, to give people the confidence and support young people and families through these hardship times. Our confidence has been knocked, definitely, no, not taken away from that, but we're not going to roll over and take it. We are going to just say, listen, this is what we're wanting to do, and we're going to speak up. The Commonwealth Games, yes, it's here. We don't consider ourselves squatters in this public square, but we consider ourselves as full landowners of everything that happens here. This is where we raise our families, this is where we live, this is where we build the foundations of our family and of our life. So we will have input into every decision. And as long as I am here, and as long as other people are here to get involved and start taking the bull by the horns, there's a great opportunity here, and we won't be left out.